All right, let's start with this one. I saw a lot of correct answers in this. I think it was a pretty easy one, but there was one girl who made a lot of mistakes. I forgot what was her name. Girl or boy, I'm not sure. Sachin, there are some mistakes. Harpreet, there are mistakes. Okay, so be very, very careful, all right, when you do the blanks. Let's start with the first one. I think it's a pretty easy text, so you should be able to get those right. So I think we saw that yesterday as well, that if you get any question which is slightly easy one, your target should be to get full points in those. All right, don't even lose a single point in those questions, because that will contribute towards your reading and writing, and that will give you a good score. Because if any question which is a little bit hard comes, you should be able to do it again. All right, you should be able to, even if you make mistake over there, so these kind of questions, they will compensate for those mistakes. Right, look at the first one. He's saying that water is involved in almost all the dash in our body, such as digestion, elimination, assimilation, respiration, maintaining body temperature. So these are all like different kinds of processes which are happening, right? So the right answer will be processes. Some of you put developments over here. These are not the developments that we do. Okay. These are the processes. So digestion is a process in your body, assimilation, respiration. These are all the process. It's not a method in our body. There is no method involved. It's not a procedure in our body. It's not, procedure means like someone else is performing that procedure inside you, which is not happening. Digestion is happening within yourself. Okay. So that is why the right answer will be digestion. Most of you got it right, but I saw some of these mistakes. All right, so be very careful about that. So the first one will be processes, since he is giving you an example of such as this, and that. Okay, so that is why it will be digestion. It will be processes. All right. Second one, he is saying that it is required to dash the thirst of our body. Okay, with to, we have to use first form of verb, right? It's either add or remove. I will definitely eliminate confiscated. I will definitely eliminate eliminated. All right. So I'll be left with two options. So when you drink water, what does it do? Does it increase your thirst or does it remove your thirst? It will definitely remove your thirst. Why would it add it? That won't be right, right? So the right answer here will be to remove the thirst of our body. If you look at these blanks, or those of you, let's say, who are joining it for the first time, if you look at the blanks, you will be absolutely sure that if you focus grammatically and if you read the text after the blank, you will very easily be able to get your answers right. Okay. And that's what I want you guys to do. Read the text after the blank. Here, he is just giving you an example: digestion, elimination, assimilation, respiration. Very easily, you should be able to get it. Okay. In the next one as well, dash the thirst of our body. You can't remove, like you can't add it, right? So it has to be removed. One more thing, just for your general knowledge, because I think I have seen one question which have that word. Whenever we talk about the thirst or removing the thirst of our body, there is another word that we use. It's quench the thirst of our body. So that's a very important collocation, like, which means that to remove the thirst. Okay, so normally we use that word. All right, so write it down. It's either quench or quench. I will just check it. I think it's quench the thirst. I forgot it, but it's something like quench, or it's quench. Yeah, it should be quench. The thirst of your body or something like that. So that's the collocation that we use with thirst a lot. Write it down somewhere. You might get this one. I've seen one or two questions which have this word used in your PT, and you never know, you might get the same one in the real exam. So you should be able to do that. Okay. Is required is passive, then we also use to with V1. Exactly. Whenever you see to and there is a blank, you have to put first form of verb. As simple as that. Nothing to do with active and passive then. Okay. When you see to, it will be either first form or ing form. Okay. Then he is saying water is dash by everything, like plants, animal, microorganisms, human beings, to fulfill the body requirement. Water is dash by everything. Again, look at that. What kind of sentence is there? It is a perfect example of a passive sentence. Okay. With the passive voice, what form of verb do we use? We will use third form of verb. So look at the third form. Is essential by everything. Doesn't make sense. Is obligatory by, won't be right. Is compulsory by, also doesn't make sense. Okay. So the right answer here will be is required by everything like plants, animals, microorganisms, human beings, etc. Clear? Then, do we imagine that what will dash if the drinking water dash one day or gets polluted? What will dash? After will, we have just discussed that with will. I will write it down again. We will always put first form of verb. Okay. So always you will put first form of verb after will. So what will happen if the drinking water dash one day? So that will be very simple as well, I think. What will happen? Okay. What will occur? What will come? What will make what? It doesn't make sense. All right. So according to the context, it will be like what will happen or what will be the condition of the people if the drinking water dash one day or gets polluted. Look at that, gets. So we have discussed that with and or. With or, it will be opposite, but they will be related to each other, right? If he's using SES form over here, I have to put some SES form. If the water refined one day, grammatically that one is incorrect. I will eliminate that. Over one day, again, that is grammatically incorrect because I have to put SES form. Ends one day or finishes one day. Okay, what is the more grammatical word or more academic word that we use with drinking water? We say end or we say finish. We normally say finishes up. Okay, so the right answer here will be what if the drinking water finishes one day? Okay, clear? So the first one will be processes, since he's talking about the processes. Second one will be remove. Third one will be required. Fourth one will be what will happen. And the last one will be finishes. Okay, clear? Any question? I think that was one of the easiest ones which I saw here. So you should be able to get these correct. Okay, good job, Tamanna, Mira, Zoom, Newton, Ajay, all of you. Good job. There was one more. Today it's a new laptop, so okay, there is a question here. Just give me 1 second. With required, don't we use or to? This action is required to complete the process. So what does it mean? Sorry, I didn't get your question, Rupam. It is required for this purpose. Both can be used. Okay. It is required to dash. Required to can be used as well, but you are right. Required for can be used as well. Okay. Both of these prepositions can be used with the word required. Okay. You are required to be there. All right. So in that sense, we normally use to, but we can also use for. All right. Oh, there was one more question. Just let me see. Oh, it's so hard. Required for or required to? Yeah, both will be used. Both can be used. Okay. There was the same question. Dilpreet, yes. I never used as required by. I'm a bit confused with this. You're talking about the second blank, right? Required by, it's not there. It's required to. Okay. Water is required by everything. Okay. That's why. But even if you don't, for example, then you can't say water is compulsory by everything. That's the only word which is making sense. And what I did was, I got the sense with the help of a passive voice. So I was like, okay, it's in the passive voice, and that's the only word which will go with the which will go with the preposition by. Okay. Water is essential by everything. That doesn't make sense as well. Okay. So out of these four, although we don't normally use that, you are right. But out of these four options, sometimes we just have to select the one which is more suitable in that case. All right. So sometimes you will see, even maybe today when we do some blanks, that it is not perfectly the right word, but that's the best available option out of these four. So that's what you are looking to get. Try to get the best possible answer which is available to you. Okay. Clear? So that is why required by, yeah, first time using. Yeah, you also said the same thing. Got it. How can we understand that thoroughly, whether it is active or passive? Yeah, by looking at the sentence, if you know the subject or if you know a person who is doing the work, then it will be an active sentence. But if you don't know it, then it will be the passive. or with the help of by will help you as well. Water is dash by everything. If the sentence was plants, animal, microorganism, human beings are dash are using water or something, then I will put ing form. But here the subject is coming at the end, so that is why it will be in the passive voice. Okay. Sir, B. Okay. In the second one, the right answer will be option C, to remove. After to, we have to put first form of verb. Any quick hint, please? Yeah. Vam, does it answer your question? Dilpreet, yes, for this one. For the second one, it will be remove, not that. Got it. Thanks. Okay, perfect. All right. Any other questions or any question which I didn't respond? Sorry, it's a bit hard for me to see today. Okay, it should be okay. All right. Let's go with the next one. Good job. For the last one, yeah, it will be finishes. Since he's talking about gets polluted, so that is why it will be finishes one day. All right. When do we use essential? Essential means again something when you are talking about important. Okay, water is essential, but it can't be said like water is essential by everything. Essential means like important. So when you're talking about something very important, or you can't really you can't really live without something, then you will use the word essential. Okay, oxygen is essential for our survival, but I will not say oxygen is needed by everything or something like that. Okay, so just because of this preposition by, that's why I was tilted not to use these words like essential, obligatory, or compulsory. Okay, otherwise the meaning will be important, right? Okay, let's start with the second one. Let's see what you guys do. I will hope that you will maintain the same performance. Okay, you guys are doing really good. Keep it up. I don't know. It was a bit easy as well. So let's see what you will do now. Okay. I'll give you guys 2.5 minutes, and then we are going to discuss that in detail. All right, let's begin with this one. I think it was a bit tricky, right? A little bit difficult one. I also find it a bit tough, but yeah, let's see what you did. Okay, let's start with the first blank. This short book has been concerned with the main tool of learning. So basically, he's talking about some short book which is concerned with the main tool of learning, that is language. So he is defining language as a major tool of learning. Many children, particularly those in the industrial areas of the country, start their educational lives with this tool blunt and live their early years in home circumstances which often conspire to keep it dash with the result, as the young sixth former wrote in chapter 1, that even he becomes increasingly conscious of his dash of fluency. Right now, he is talking about a particular tool named blunt and live their early lives in home circumstances which often conspire to keep it dash with the result. So basically want to say that keep it dash with the result. So like appropriate with the results, whatever environment is at home, they want to keep it the same. Okay. Here, to keep it same with the result doesn't make sense. If it was similar with the result, then I would have put that. Okay. But other than that, keep it same with the result, that won't be grammatically correct. Okay. For this one, the right answer will be blunt. Okay. Why it is blunt? It's not because of the word that is used over here. It's because he's saying keep it blunt with the result. Like absolutely stick to the result. Blunt means something which is very strict, or yeah, like in a very, how to say that? Like in a very blunt means like straightforward, like clear cut. All right. Exactly. Straightforward. So in that way. All right. So it should be keep it blunt with the result. Okay. As the young sixth former wrote in chapter 1, that even he becomes increasingly conscious of his dash of fluency. Now you have heard this word a lot, of his dash of fluency. Okay. What do we use with the fluency? We don't say shortage of fluency. We don't say difficulty of fluency as well. Okay. Not problem. Even if you do some read alouds as well, lot of tutors, they will tell you like it's a lack of fluency. All right. So the right answer here will be lack of fluency. That's the word that we normally use with this word fluency, to give like lack of fluency. All right. So that's like a figure of speech kind of a way. We use this word a lot when we talk about this kind of things. Okay. Which may become the most prominent manifestation of his embarrassment and discomfort. So basically what he wants to say is that there is a young sixth former wrote in chapter 1 that even he becomes increasingly conscious of his lack of fluency. Like although he know that he is not fluent when he speaks, which may become the most prominent manifestation of a manifestation means to show something. So that means that it shows his embarrassment and discomfort. Although it's very discomfort, but he was aware that he is not speaking very fluently. How to deal with this? To dash this, comma, to give the child the confidence. Something negative will happen now, right? So he is talking about that you are feeling embarrassed, you are feeling conscious of lack of fluency. So what do we need to do to give confidence? We need to get rid of that thing, right? Look at the option: to avoid this, to waste this, to miss this, to spare this. You can't like spare or miss something. Okay. Waste this is not talking about any waste. Here, the right answer will be to avoid this. Okay. So to avoid this, or to get rid of this, or to avoid the situation, basically want to say, or to give the child the confidence, which derives from dash of speech and writing, is surely one of the prime tasks of country school. Which derives from dash of speech and writing. Now, let me see what you guys put. Two options I was personally very confused in. Let me see that. Skill could be there, comfort could be there, and trust me, ease could be there as well. So that one was very confusing one actually for me as well. When I was doing it, I was very doubtful between these ones, because which derives from skill of speech and writing, it does make sense. from comfort of, from ease of even does make sense as well. Okay. Here, the right answer will be actually from skill of, where it is, from skill of speech and writing, because these are the skill set which he's talking about, okay, which derives from the skill of speech and writing. I think there should be da over here. Ease means to make it simple, okay, to make it easy. All right. So that is ease. So it comes from easy. So ease of speech and writing. All right. That also does make sense. But this one was very confusing one. But since he's talking about speech and writing, so the right answer will be skill. Is surely one of the prime tasks of country school. So basically to improve their skill set, because he's talking about speech and writing. So speech is a skill set which you have to do. Writing is also like a skill. Okay. So that is why it will be skill of speech and writing. I will double check this one because I have a feeling like it could be ease as well. I'm a little bit doubtful. But I will have a look at this one. Okay. This one was very confusing for me as well. I will double check and I'll let you know guys tomorrow for sure. All right. Skill is more formal as well. But since these are the skill sets, so that is why it will be skill. Okay. Let's see the next one. Is surely one of the prime tasks of country schools. So basically what he wants to say this, to teach them or to give confidence to these children, it's important for them to improve their speech and writing, and that is the major task of country school. There is no single recipe for a dash to do this well, but it may be helpful to consider the conditions. There is no recipe for a dash to do it well. This one was simple. For a teaching lesson won't be right. For a lesson to do this well, you're not talking about any lesson or anything like this. Okay. The right answer will be way. There is no a single recipe for a way to do this well. Like you can't do it well, but it may be helpful to consider the conditions. So basically, want to say it like if you want to do everything at home or without going to school or anything, it will be hard for you to achieve a speech and writing skill set, and the fluency won't be there as well. And that is the main purpose of the country's school. So that is like overall story that he wanted to tell you guys in this particular question, right? So for this one, the right answer will be way, for a way to do this well, but it may be helpful to consider the conditions which appear to be dashed to the primary school whose work has been quoted. Now, this one was again a little bit confusing. For, I think, which appear to be similar to the primary schools whose work has been quoted, frequent won't be there. Okay. Claire won't be there as well. Okay. So you should be doubtful between these two words. Like it could be confused, like it could be similar, or it could be common as well. All right. Both of these words, they are making sense according to the context as well as according to the grammar. So now if you have to select the more academic word, the right answer will be similar in this one. Okay. Clear? So the first one will be blunt, because similar to the primary schools whose work has been quoted, if you replicate that same thing, or if you try to get the same conditions into your own home, that's the only way you will be able to make the child learn, okay, or to improve their skill set. All right. So that is why the right answer will be similar over here. Okay. So the first one will be blunt. Second one will be lack. Why it is blunt? To keep it blunt with the result. It's sort of like a collocation as well. Blunt with the result, not different. To keep it different with the result. With different with different, we normally use different from the result. Okay. So that is why it won't be different. It will be blunt, like straightforward. It should be conspired straight with the result, like related to the result. Okay. Claire? All right, let me see your questions now. Okay, we can't conduct this class in Hindi, sorry. Dilpreet, it will be conducted in English so that everyone can understand. Ooh, let me see the questions. Is it clear? I got 5 this time. That's good. Good job, Harpreet. I'm really glad to see you improve. Similar can be used with in, right, sir? Yes. Similar to we can use, similar in as well we can use it. So for example, but with in we normally say similarity in this or something. But yeah, we can use similar in. Both will be fine. Blunt meaning is not sharp, right? Blunt means like very straightforward. So for example, I'm very blunt with you without any, like there is no such thing which you are hiding. You are very straightforward or without any without any shame or anything. So we normally say, like for example, if someone who is being a little bit rude to you, maybe, so you will say he's a very blunt behavior, like without thinking about anything or maybe your age or anything like that. They're just blunt. They're telling you answers straight away. So that is like blunt. Okay. All right. Is it clear? Any questions? Any doubts in this one? Let me see if I miss any question. I hope not. I think it's clear. All right. Thank you, sir, for appreciating. Okay. No worries. Good job. If you guys do good, I will definitely appreciate you. Second one, please. Second one, what? Okay, so it's lack of fluency. So since he's talking about the fluency, so that's the word that we use with this. So lack of fluency. Okay. We can't say difficulty of, if it was dash with fluency, then I might have put difficulty with or problem with fluency. Okay. So to keep with lack of fluency. Okay. So it's like a figure of speech kind of a way. We use these words together. Okay. All right. Let's start with the third one. Let me just take it. Oh, I can't edit it. Sorry. Blunt and same. Yeah. I was also a little bit confused with this one, but same with the result. Again, if it was similar with the result, then I might have put that. Okay. I'm not sure which one is what. I think one is noun, similar with the result, or blunt with the result. So if it was similar, then I would have put that. But even if you read it, which often conspire to keep it same with the result, that doesn't make too much of a sense, right? So that is why I personally selected blunt as well. Okay, I was doubtful, but then I eliminated that option same because it didn't just sounded right. Okay. All right, let's do one more. Then we will move on. All right, let's do this one. I will save it in the Word format, but the problem is I don't know. It's my university's laptop and I haven't logged in here yet. So he's not allowing me to do that. Okay, I will try to figure it out after this question. All right. Let's do this one. Then we will discuss that. All right, guys, let's start with this one. Let me see your answers first. B, B, C, C. Majority of you got it right. Okay, good job. Good job, Mira. You're doing good. All right, let's begin. First one, obesity increases. Majority of you got it right. Okay, good job. Obesity increases the likelihood of dash diseases, particularly heart disease, type 2 diabetes, breathing difficulties during sleep, certain types of cancer, and osteoarthritis. Okay, so these are like all different kinds of diseases which he's talking about. Look at that. Likelihood of dash diseases. So that means something more than one, right? Increases diseases doesn't make any sense at all. You can't put these two together, right? Few diseases. It's not like few diseases because it's talking about heart disease, type 2 diabetes, breathing difficulties, types of cancers, etc. These are all like different kinds of diseases. Distinct means which is something similar or which is something very unique. He's not talking about any distinctness as well. All right. So the right answer here will be various diseases. Mean more than one he's talking about. So that is why it will be various. Okay. Claire, I think almost all of you got it right. Good job. Then he's saying that obesity is commonly caused by a dash of excessive dietary calories, lack of physical activity, and genetic susceptibility. So these are like different things which are the responsible cause of the obesity. Okay, look at the option. Mixture of. Mixture is the word that we normally use when you talk about some chemicals, or like for example, cement is made up of mixture of soil or sand, clay, etc. These kind of things. He's not talking about like mixture. Mixture is like a sort of like a solution kind of a way in which in that term we normally use. I hope you get it what I want to say. Two options are there. Collaboration means when you do, for example, research fellows or people collaborate on something, that is collaboration. Here he is not talking about any collaboration or anything like this. It's not a collaboration of this. Two words are there. Combination of conjunction. We have seen that in another blank. I told you that as well. I think that with conjunction. Okay, can anyone tell me like what preposition do we use with the word conjunction? Do we say conjunction of or do we use some other word? Can anyone tell me? We have discussed that. Not to. Conjunction with. Exactly. You are right. Absolutely right. Trilok, Rupam, Doris, Zoom, etc. Good job. Okay, we have seen that in one blank that we will use conjunction with. In conjunction with is like a collocation that we normally use. Mean together. Okay, here he's saying dash of. There is no with over here. So I will have to eliminate conjunction as well. Okay, so I will eliminate that. So the right answer will be combination of. So it's like a combination of excessive dietary calories. It could be a lack of physical exercise, genetic susceptibility, all of these things. They are, when they combine together, that is where it will lead to obesity. Only two, no, there is no rule regarding that. It could be more than like combination could be of more than two things as well. That's absolutely fine. Between is between two things. Okay. Although a few cases are dash primarily by genes, endocrine disorders, medications, or psychiatric illness. Now he's talking about these diseases. What word do we use with the disease? We can't say ruined by. These diseases are caused by. Okay, so the right answer here will be caused. Provoke mean to provoke someone, like to, for example, you are sitting in a very calm way, but I'm provoking you, like I'm making you a little bit angry. All right, so in that sense we use provoke. Here he is not talking about any provoking or anything like that. He is talking about the causes of these things. Primary cases are caused by genes, endocrine disorders, etc. All right, so that is why the right answer will be caused. Okay. Then evidence to support the view this. On average, obese people have a greater energy expenditure than their thin dash due to energy required to maintain an increased body mass. Look at that again. Evidence to support the view that some obese people eat little yet gain weight due to a slow metabolism is limited. Like there are less people who feel like even though they eat less, they're still very like obese or fat. On average, what happens is obese have a greater energy expenditure than their thin dash. That's again a collocation than their thin counterparts, meaning people who have like counterpart mean similar people or people who are similar to that. Okay. Um, me and my counterpart. So people who are just like me. Okay. So in that sense, we normally use that word. Okay. Clear? um Even if you don't know the meaning of it, if you look at the other options like analogs, essentials, aids, that doesn't make sense. Okay, so I have to go with counterparts. All right, clear? Any questions, any doubts in this one? Why did you get two? Those of you got two, which mistakes you guys did? WAM and Zoom user, why did you get two? All right, there was a question on top. Could you explain how come various? Yeah, since he's talking about dash diseases and he's talking about different diseases like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, breathing difficulties during sleep, etc. So that is why it will be various diseases. It's not like one, it's not distinct or not similar. So that is why it is various, because it is more than one. Okay. 3, 4, 4, wham, you're doing second and third one was a mistake. Third one shouldn't be a mistake. Third one was very easy. I wish I can do this in exam. You will do it. Okay, so that's exactly what I want you to do it in the exam, and trust me, if you do it, you will get your score. That's what I was telling you yesterday as well. In the exam, what you do is you get very nervous because of the time pressure and everything. You are like, oh, you will just start doing stuff without even reading it. Okay, that is where every mistake happens. Just write it down somewhere if you want. Just remember my saying that if you try to do reading without understanding it, there is no way you will be able to get it right. I can guarantee you that. Sometimes students feel like I will just very quickly just put the answers. Guaranteed answers will be wrong. Okay. So spend time. That's the only way to do reading. Okay. Otherwise, if there was any other shortcut or anything, I would have already told you. All right. So get it right like that, Doris. You will be absolutely fine. Okay. Provoked, the word is used in a different way. I can get collocation list. It's available on the Pearson website. I think in this group, someone already shared as well. I think it was you, Balraj. I think, did you share that list? So yeah, it's available on the Pearson website as well. So you can get it. Okay. Provoked is more academic, but the meaning is different. Okay. So that is why it won't be provoked. Provoke is more academic, but we don't use this word with diseases. Okay. I can't provoke a disease. All right. So that is why. How much time we should spend each question in the real exam? 2.5 to 3 minutes. So my strategy is that, okay, every question will be different. For example, in this one, you can easily do it in 1.5 minutes. But the previous one that we got, it will take me a little bit more time. On average, it's like 2.5 minutes. But if you finish one question early, easy one, you can spend more time on the difficult one. Okay, but on average, it is 2.5 minutes. But I always say, if you guys now, everyone knows their capability, right? For example, when I'm solving a particular question, I know that this question is under my control. If I spend a little bit more time, I will be able to solve it. Okay. So in that case, if you feel like you have to go till 3 minutes or even 3.5 minutes, but you are sure that, okay, if I read it properly, I will get it right, go for it. But try to get that answer right. Okay. Because in this one, if your answers are correct, um, you can compensate the time later on. Don't spend any time on multiple choices. Just make sure that you spend it over here. Can I get your number, Meera? Okay, I will send it to you. Collocation list, FI. Thank you, Balraj, again. See, Balraj is the best. Last time he also shared it. All right. Okay, let's do one more. Um, yeah, we still have time. Okay, let's do one more of this. Then we will move on to the next one. All right, let me see your answers. All right, someone asked about the mock test. Who was it? Rupa. Yeah, for me, it might be a little bit hard because I'm taking these classes. But if you are an online student, there will be some tutor who will be in touch with you. So they will be helping you with the mock test. If you still need any help or analyze score, I will definitely do that. Okay, should be okay. Mira, I haven't booked the test yet. Okay. All right, let's start with this one. It's a little bit tricky, but first four were very easy. I think all of you got it right. In the last one or two, I have seen some mistakes. Okay. All right, let's see. Trinity College was dash by Sir Thomas Pope in 1955. Okay, so that's like a name of a college which he's talking about. All right. So what should we do with the college? All right, we don't say it was rejoined or repeated or reinstated. Okay, he's not talking about that. Dash was dash by Sir Thomas. It's also in the passive voice. Okay, but all of these options are given in ed form. All right, the right answer will be founded by. Okay, so the college was founded by this Sir Thomas Pope in 1955. Okay, a devout Catholic with no surviving children, Thomas Pope saw the foundation of an Oxford college as a means of dash that he and his family would always be remembered in the prayers and masses of its members. So basically, want to say that as a means of dash, like he wanted to make sure that he and his families, they were always remembered by this, and no one will ever be able to forget that, right? That's what he want to say, as a means of dash. Clinching that doesn't make sense. Clinch means to get something from someone. Okay, so clinching that he and his family, it won't be right. Verifying that, securing, means of securing, no. The right answer will be means of ensuring. Like he wants to make sure absolutely that no matter what happened, that's why he has founded that college, that I will or my family will be remembered in the prayers of and masses of its members. So that's why he was also a Catholic, like very religious guy. That is why it will be like he wanted to make sure that his family and everyone remember them in prayers. Clear? He came from a family of small dash in Oxfordshire, trained as a lawyer and rose rapidly to prominence. He came from a family of small dash. So now some sort of like a profession should be there, right? Freeholders, owners, producers. From a family of small producers. Producer of what? He hasn't mentioned that, right? And producer is not a profession or something. You can't say like I'm a producer. Producer of what? I don't know. All right. Owners, again, some small in from a family of small owners. Owner what? If it was saying family of small business owners, then I would have put that. But owners itself, it's not giving me anything. Okay. The right answer here will be landowners. Now look at that. It is very clear to me that he's talking about people who are landowners. Some now that will give me an idea that he came from a people from a family of small landowners in Oxfordshire. So that's like a name of a county or something where he used to live in. All right. Clear? And then he trained as a lawyer and rose rapidly to prominence. Dash Henry the Eighth. Always remember, whenever you have these titles like this, for example, you are doing read aloud, always add the in the middle of it. So let's say if I have to read it in the read aloud, I will read it as Henry the Eighth. Okay. So don't say Henry VIII. That will be a mistake of a content. Okay. So Henry the Eighth, just for your general knowledge, if you find something like this in your read aloud. All right. Rose rapidly to prominence. Dash Henry the Eighth. We have seen that blank, I think, before. So when we are talking about someone who is ruling you, we say under the rule of that person. So prominence under Henry the Eighth. All right. So when he was ruling, that is where he become very prominent and he rose to prominence. Okay. As treasurer of the Court of Augmentations, he handled the estates of the monasteries dash at the Reformation. This one is a little bit tricky. Dash at the Reformation and amassed up considerable personal dash. Pope was a discreet and trusted privy councillor of many Truder. I think there should be a full stop or comma or something like that should be there, especially right after the word personal. Okay. I think it should have been there, but it's not, so that's fine. Look at that. As a treasurer at the court of this, and amassed, he handled the estates of monasteries dash at the Reformation and amassed a considerable personal dash. Pope was a discreet. Okay, I think there should be a full stop over here. All right. Now, dash at the Reformation and amassed a considerable personal. Something related to Reformation should be there. All right. And he's talking about all the states that are here. Okay. So basically, he handled the states of the ministry. There are different kinds of states, which maybe like he's talking about the Reformation. So maybe they were dissolved or something, or they were distributed. Okay. Crumbled won't be there. Crumbled is something that we use when you talk about something which is crumbling away or totally destroyed or something. Okay. Here, the right answer will be dissolved. Okay. Dissolved will be the right answer in this one. Okay. According to the context, it is according to the context. Okay. Withered at withered. I'm not actually too sure about the meaning of withered. I have to check. Let me have a quick look. I will have a look at that. Okay. I wasn't sure about the meaning of withered, so that's why I didn't even bother of putting it. So when I was solving this question, I look at the word Reformation, and I was thinking like he has dissolved some states at the Reformation and then amassed a considerable personal dash. Okay. Amassed means to pass it to someone. Okay. So that is why I put dissolve. And when I look at the answers, dissolve was the right answer. That was my thinking of doing it, but I will definitely check it for you. What is the meaning of withered? Okay. Withered means become dry. Okay. Withered means become dry. All right. So again, in that context, he is not, that won't be making sense because he was a treasurer. He was holding all of this. So he distributed all of that thing. Okay. And amassed a considerable personal dash. So something like his wealth or something, he passed it on. Right. Pope was a discreet and trusted privy councillor of Mr. Mary Truder. Sorry, Mary Truder. Lot of you put approach over here. Now he can't pass a considerable personal approach. That won't be right. Coach as well doesn't make any sense. The right answer will be fortune. Fortune means lot of money which he has. He just pass it on to his considerable personal. He just pass it on to a Pope or Mary Truder, whatever. Clear? So the last one will be fortune in this one. All right. Since he's talking about his property or he's talking about his money. All right. So the first one was founded. Second one was ensuring. Then landowners, under, dissolved. And the last one will be fortune. Okay. Yes, I can see that there are, what do we do if I don't know the meaning of the word? Amassed or Reformation. Then to be honest, like you have to take a guess in that case. Okay. Sometimes that kind of questions will appear. So what I normally do is I will try to look out for the words which I know, try to put those in. If those words make sense, then just go with that. Okay. That one should be the right answer. Okay. In the last one, he is saying amassed a considerable personal dash. Okay. So, let me just have a look. Yeah. So amassed means to gather or to accumulate as well. Okay. So he accumulated and he passed it on to people. All right. So that is why that one will be fortune. Like even if you don't understand it, he is talking about some sort of like a property and sometimes some sort of like a states or something like, and he's talking about distributing them to all. All right. So that is why The right answer here in the end will be fortune, because coach, approach, and mate won't be right. I'm sure there has to be a full stop over here. I think it was missing. That's why you are more confused at that one. Okay. Monasteries dash at the Reformation and amassed a considerable personal dash. It was tricky, but the idea what he wants to say is that these states that he has, he dissolved all those, and whatever his share was, he gave it to Pope, who was his favorite member or his trusted counselor or something. Okay, so that is why the right answer will be dissolved and fortune in that one. Okay, Claire, I know it's a little bit difficult, but I have tried to explain it as much as I can. I think it's clear. I hope it's clear. Did you guys have any questions, or the whole thing is a question now? This one was a bit confusing. So now you saw that I think we did 4 or 5 questions. 2 of them are very easy. 2 of them are a little bit tricky. Okay, so that's what I was saying. Try to get, if you get an easy one, try to do it quickly and try to get full points. Okay, don't lose even a single one in those. So that if any difficult question comes, you should be able to compensate that. And one more thing, if you are someone who is struggling in your reading, focus a lot on your read aloud, right? In speaking, read aloud will have a huge contribution towards your reading score. So make sure that you work properly with the content of your read alouds. All right. Okay, let's start with the reorder paragraph. We will do some of these questions today. Then again, tomorrow we will focus on more, both of these blanks. All right. I want to do 3 to 4 reorders today. And then when we come tomorrow, again, we will focus on both of these blanks. So we'll do 4, 5, 4, 5 of both. Okay. Thursday, you are very tired most of the times. We see less students. So just be prepared and hopefully you will learn. Okay. All right. Let's start with this one. Good job in the blanks overall. Okay. I'm satisfied with your work today. It's good. Okay. It could have been a little better, but overall it's fine. Okay. Good job. All right, let's start with this one. This one was also a little bit tricky. I'm just checking your answers. Rupa, you got it right. Okay, a lot of you put D as a stand. These kind of questions, they are very, very confusing. Okay, let's start. First of all, let's figure out what should be the standalone sentence. Okay, this is hardly a new phenomena, yet it has never been well measured in official statistics, and resulting data gaps prevent a clear view of a large share of labor market activity. What do you mean by this is hardly a new phenomena? So here he will be talking about some sort of like a phenomena or something, which means that it can't be a first one. Okay. To better understand the independent workforce and what motivates the people who participate in it, McKinsey Global Institute surveyed some 8,000 respondents across Europe and United States. Okay, survey of what? Independent workforce, what motivates people? It could be my first one. Okay, I am not denying that, but I will still not decide. Okay, so I have to look at the other options. Working 9 to 5 for a single employer bears little resemblance to the way a substantial share of workforce makes a living today. Here he's saying that 9 to 5 work bears little resemblance to the way a substantial share of workforce makes a living today. So nowadays, basically want to say that people who are working 9 to 5, they are very less. Again, it's a very generic and very simple one. So it could be my first one. I'll put a line around it. Millions of people assemble various income streams that work independently rather than in structured payroll jobs. It is also a very kind of like a independent kind of a statement. Out of these three, now you guys have to figure out like which one is very generic one and which one is more like giving you sort of like an introduction. Always remember this pyramid whenever you are solving reorder paragraph. That's what I do. First sentence will be a very simple and a very generic kind of a statement. Okay. Second one will be a little bit more tricky. Third one will be a trickier one. And the last one will be like that. Okay. If you look at these two, this one is talking about very specific thing and about the survey. So it won't be my first one. Okay. It's either C or D. Here he is talking about millions of people assemble various income streams and work independently rather than in structured payroll job. And here he is just saying that 9 to 5 people are very less and people are looking for um, substantial, with little resemblance to the way a substantial share of workforce make a living today. So basically today people are getting money from all different sources. Which one is more generic? The more generic one will be option C. Okay. So I will put C as my first one. Right. Why? Because he is talking about in a very general way that 9 to 5 today, people are getting a substantial share. They offer little resemblance. Like nowadays, a lot of people are not just working not working 9 to 5, but getting money from some other resources. What are the other resources? That is what he is telling you in option D, that millions of people assemble various income streams. They work different income streams and work independently. Some are working from home, some are working from whatever, rather than in a structured payroll jobs. So now everyone, you will see that they will have at least 2 to 3 jobs, okay, just to be secure. So that's exactly what he want to say. So that is like the example which he's giving you now, right? Next one, now he is telling you that they are all working in different work streams and work independently rather than in payroll jobs. That is the hardly a new phenomena. So that is a phenomena which he is talking about. Okay. That this is hardly a new phenomena, yet it has never been well measured in official statistics, and resulting data gaps prevent a clear view of a large share of a labor market activity. All right. You don't know, or the resulting gaps exist, or it is not well measured. All right. How to measure it now? To better understand that. That is what he's saying, because you still don't have enough data and it is not well measured in official statistics. So to better understand the independent workforce and what motivates the people who participate in it, that is where McKinsey Global Institute surveyed some 8,000 respondents across Europe and United States. Okay. So the right answer here will be C, D, A, and B. Okay. Clear? I will explain that again. So the first one will be C, since he is generally talking about 9 to 5 people are very less, and it doesn't represent the majority of people now. Why? Because nowadays majority of the people, they don't want to work in this. They don't want to work 9 to 5. They just look for other job streams. Okay, and this is hardly a new phenomena, but it is very hard for you to measure. How will you measure it? That McKinsey International has started a survey to understand what motivates people. Clear? So the right answer will be C, D, A, and B. All right. Any questions or any doubts in this one? Workforce is in C and B, and he gave more information about. If you look at B, B is not giving you information about the workforce. B is related to A, that he is just mentioning over here that has never been well measured. Okay, it has not been measured. There is no official statistics, and resulting data gaps prevent a clear image. That is what, to better understand this. Okay, so that is what he is referring to. Okay, so these two are linked with each other. All right, clear? So that is why A and B will definitely go together. For 65 Kritika, it won't impact that much, although yeah, it does impact. If everything is wrong, then it will definitely impact, but try to get as much correct as you can. All right, if your read alouds are good and your blanks are good, easily you will get your score. Okay, clear? Anyone who got that one correct? I think one or two of you got it right completely. That's your way of saying, wait, who is this? Mira, yeah. D is generic than C because in D they talk about structured 9 to 5 job as well as independent work. You can say that as well, but look at D. He's giving you an example of that. In C, he is just telling you one thing, little resemblance to the way. Like he just want to tell you that nowadays less people are working from 9 to 5 and more people are looking for some other ways. What are the other ways? They look for various income streams. They can work independently rather than in particular, rather than in this one. Okay, so that is why it will be C and D, not D and C. Okay, but yeah, it was confusing. If you're aiming to 8, how much you score for this? Again, it depends what you do in the blanks. So if you're not making mistakes in the blanks, then 1 1 2 2 mistakes should be enough. But trust me, in the real exam, reorders are not that hard. Okay, when I did my own exam, I felt like it was easy. And then when I took one exam just to check some strategies here at Language Academy, again, the reorders were simple. All right. And we have seen that it's not that hard. All right. So I will highly recommend that all of you try to finish all the all the prediction questions of reorder paragraph from the portal. Hopefully it will be repeated from those as well. Okay. All right, let's start with this one. Okay, I need to. Okay, let me try to log in again. Okay, just give me 1 second. I will just stop sharing the screen. You can take a bit of a break if you want, because I need to edit it. All right, let me just share my screen again. Sorry about that. Should be working now. All right, let's do this one. Okay. I'll give you 2.5 minutes again. Then we are going to discuss that. Okay. All right, let's start with this one. Let me see your answers. Okay, got very less answers for now. Since it's the end, I am assuming a lot of you have already gone for your dinner or your lunch or something. Okay, I'll give you one more minute, then we will discuss that. Balraj Meera, try to review your answer. For example, if let's say this is not the right answer, what will you put? All right, Rupam, you are giving all the possible answers, like either this one or that one or that one. Okay, for this one, the right answer is actually 𝗙𝗍𝗴𝗃. Okay, how? All right, let's see. First of all, he has mentioned that certainly it has been used in this way. What do you mean by this way for centuries? It means that it can't be my first one. Putting aside the fact that national identity is a complex and divisive question, this approach. What do you mean by this approach to history? I don't know that as well. Is the purpose of history to promote a strong national identity and support national myths? That's a question mark. It could be my first one. We can all remember history at school as being taught in this. Okay. Here he is defining the history. So the first one will be very simple, that is the purpose of history is the purpose of history to promote a strong national identity and support national myths. Okay, very simple, very generic, giving you an introduction. Certainly it has been used in this way for centuries. What do you mean by this way? Has he mentioned any way over here? Here he is talking about this approach. What do you mean by this approach? He hasn't mentioned any approach yet. He is just telling you what is the purpose of history. Is it promoting strong national identity or is it supporting national myths? That's the main question. He hasn't mentioned anything about any way. He hasn't mentioned anything about any approach for now. Okay. Look at option D. He's saying we can all remember history at school as being a matter of learning lots of facts and dates. So we have also experienced the same thing. Whenever we talk about history, it's all about dates, numbers, graphs, facts, etc. And long lists of kings and queens, a grand narrative of how we got from a not so civilized past to a great nation we are today. That is sort of like what we remember of the history. Okay. That is what he is telling you now. Okay. So that is why I won't put A or B after that. So the right answer will be C and D. He is telling you that this is the purpose of the history. Now he is telling you what actually was the history. Why I didn't put that? Just because of this word, this way and this approach. He hasn't mentioned any of these things. Okay. So that is why I'm only left with option D. So that is why I have to go with option D. Okay. We can, and a grand narrative. So that is like a way of teaching. What we taught in, what do we normally being taught in history? Lot of names, lot of facts, lot of dates, lot of kings, lot of queens, and a grand narrative that in the beginning we were not so civilized, but then after a while we became a great nation. Then it will be CDA. Certainly it has been used in this way for centuries, and this is often reflected in history curriculum. That is exactly what he is telling you over here. And the last one will be putting aside the fact that national identity is a complex and divisive question. This approach to history emphasizes a broad understanding rather than a detailed understanding. Okay. So the right answer will be CDAB. Okay. I always mention this thing in my strategy class as well. But those of you who haven't attended my class, always remember that whenever you have word like this, there, them, then, such, which, he, she, it, these, those, they. These words, they are the basis of your reorder paragraph. Okay, write these words down over somewhere. Trust me, these words will help you a lot whenever you're solving these questions. Okay, try to understand what is the meaning of this, what is the meaning of this there, what is the meaning of this them. That's exactly what I do. Whenever I see the question, I train your mind in such a way that your mind should go on this. This is often reflected. What do you mean by this? It has been used. What is it? What is this? Okay. Did he mention any approach? Okay. So if you focus on these things, it will be much easier for you to get it right. Okay. Too much thinking makes this go wrong. Exactly. Don't think too much as well. Okay. And always go with your first instinct. Whatever you think first, 90% of the time that will be the right answer. Yeah, Meera, don't overlook it. These words, I can literally say they are the major basis of your reorder paragraph. Okay. Kritika, you won't get 4, you will get 3 because there are 3 pairs in this one. Okay, don't get too excited. If you get it right, like although you will get 3 out of 3. Okay, so not 4. All right. 1, 1, 1. We need to work more on the reorder paragraph. Okay, but that's why even if you make mistake over here, that should be fine. Still try to get at least 1 or 2 pairs correct. Okay, because I don't want you guys to spend too much time on the reorder paragraph, because if your blanks are correct and your reorder paragraphs are good, you will be able to get a good score. All right. So just focus on these ones, and in the end, we can work more on the reorder paragraph. But your first priority should be to get your blanks right. Once you're doing good with your fill in the blanks, then you can focus on the other ones. All right. Now, any questions or anything you want to discuss from today's session? Any doubts or anything which you have? For the fill in the blanks, just do the exam questions. But for the reorder paragraph, only focus on the weekly predictions from the portal. Okay, so that one should be enough. Do you have any study plan for 65 score? Yes, you do. Are you in touch with any tutor? So we normally assign one tutor to everyone. If you haven't been assigned, okay, just so no one has contacted you, Balraj, like Vrinda or Mehak or someone like that. No. Okay. I will share my number with you. Just send me a text. I will give your number to someone. Okay. So they will be in touch. Okay. So don't worry about that. For 79 plus as well, it will be the same. Is the time changing for the class? I have no idea. Have you heard something about time changing? I haven't heard of it, so I'm not too sure. I'm struggling in reading. Everyone is struggling in reading. Okay. I already gave 3 attempts. I can understand that. That is what these classes are for. Try to practice more and hopefully it will be fine. That's a good score, Rajni, but try to get at least 70 plus in all 4. Then it will be easier. All right. Zoom user have exam on Friday. I again forgot your name. Sorry. So I will just say Zoom user. Best of luck. I think you will get it. 65, you will get it. Once you get it, let me know. Okay. Don't forget about the classes. Just let us know whether you get it or not. Okay. Hopefully you will do it. Yeah, work on your reading, writing blanks. We need to work on that. How much I need to score in LM mock test to score 79 plus? Okay, so yeah, for in LM mock test, as long as you are getting above 70, that means you will get a very good score in your real exam. Okay, so everything should be above 70 points. This is my first class. That's good. Hopefully you learned something. For this one, if you have Zoom user, try to do more like reading blanks, reading, writing blanks, and focus on your speaking and listening. Dictation, summarize spoken text, and speaking, read aloud, repeat sentences. Repeat sentences, be extra careful of. Okay. Yeah, there is a preparation plan from Varun as well. But it's better to get it from some tutor so that we can give you like some customized one. Okay, that's a very generic one. All good. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a good night for those of you who are in Sydney, and have a lovely day for those of you who are in India and Pakistan. All right. Thank you so much for joining the class. I hope you learned something, especially those who are having your first class today. Hope to see you soon as well. Thank you so much. Best of luck. So 1 week before the exam, start doing the prediction questions. Yeah, I'll have a look. That's fine. All good. See you guys. Bye.